All right, we're doing a video for everyone inspired by one of the members asking me to take a little bit more of a deep dive into what I'm seeing with XRP. I've been following this one in the Twitter subscriptions for the last several weeks. I started posting on it, I believe, over the summer. Um, I believe it was over the summer, or maybe it was last year. I don't remember. Either way, early on with this name again, and let me just go on and say, as always, right? We don't know which way these things are going to go. The market's going to tell us they can go up, down, or sideways. I'm not a financial advisor. We all know that. That being said, long term, my conviction in something like this against Bitcoin is that there is none, right? For long term, I believe everything, including potentially this, is going to underperform Bitcoin. That being said, in the short term, there are periods where things have lined up for massive outperformance, and I'm all for utilizing proxies and things to raise cash so that one has the ability to acquire more Bitcoin down the line if and when it goes to a level that nobody's expecting, and we all have to expect lower than people think, just like we have to expect higher than most people are thinking in a bull trend. We've got to expect lower than what people are thinking in a potential bear trend. And so, in the spirit of always being ready for every scenario, I look for symmetric setups, and specifically what we've been following a lot in the subscription, the Twitter subscription is, the most symmetric setups I see in the market right now, whether it's related to cryptocurrencies or stocks that have entered stage two uptrends at key Wyckoff backup, last point of support, ending accumulation in uptrend regions, one, two, three, four corrective regions. That's what we're focused on. And that's what we have here. That's really what we have here. And so I'm going to look at this again. I don't know what the heck XRP does. I haven't for a long time. People try to explain it to me. I just don't have enough bandwidth, right? I've got over, a couple thousand hours into Bitcoin, and then everything else is second, third. And so there just isn't bandwidth for me to claim that I know, if there's going to be utility here long term, because I don't know what it is, quite frankly, in terms of a total addressable market and how this may or may not address that into something that's more than just a talking point to fuel retail. And maybe it's not. Maybe there's something here that truly could shift the way banking is done. I just don't know. I'm just being honest with you. So my interest here is in the very, very short term. And when I say short term, I mean 3 6 months. And so when I'm looking at the XRP chart, when I looked at it over this period, I just saw a lot of similarities to this period here, where this entire move looks corrective, right? We just have a triangle correction, just look like an A, B, C, D, E type correction. And we were getting near that stage here where A, B, C, D, E, and I think I pointed to that area of the chart, somewhere here, and just said there's a lot of similarities. I know people were calling for higher a lot earlier, but these triangles just take a while to resolve. But when they resolve, whether it's still a corrective move or not doesn't matter to me, because right now I still see this entire chart as potentially just a massive um, correction, but you can have impulses within corrective waves. Because, for example, January 2017, I see a clear three-way move, A, B, C. Uh, that doesn't mean there aren't impulses in there, right? Within this A, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we've got a triangle B, and then a straight shot impulse C. And so, what are some of the characteristics we saw back in 2017 that informed the potential start of a new impulse? And we saw a lot of those in the XRP denominated in Bitcoin chart. Here we saw it got to previous all-time high. Okay, that's the 1 fib level. Off the origin of this impulse, it retraced back down to the 618, the golden pocket. and it held there for 1, 2, 3, 4 weeks prior to moving to the 1618 extension 5 of A. So I've got clear 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave moves in that A wave, which is what you'd like, which is what you'd see. And so where are we now? Where are we now? And mind you, this 30 weeks moving up, mind you, from a Wyckoff perspective, let's get volume in here. Volume started coming in right where you'd expect to see it towards the latter stages of sign of strength. Sign of strength is going to be towards previous all-time high, back up to a last point of support, a 1-2 or a 3-4. That's what I look for. This was a 3-4, a mine to 3-4 in the context of this A wave, back up to the last point of support, trending up. That's a symmetric setup, and it's set up to the tune of what, from 2 cents, 2.5 cents to 36 cents. That symmetry obviously went a lot higher than that, but for now, I'm focused on the highest probability near-term targets because there's no guarantee. There's no guarantee, number one, it's going to play out like it did here, but number two, that higher targets are just because it did it before, those are never guaranteed in anything. So let's fast forward to back to where we are today. Those signs that caused me to kind of post about this in the 60, 70 range, I believe, cent range, were very, very similar. We got the breakout, and it hit very similarly this previous all-time high area. That's a sign of strength move, okay? Sign of strength, jumping the creek. This is the creek in essence, right? That downtrend line, all that price action, it jumped all over it in a matter of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks. 5 weeks of price action, or 5 weeks of price action essentially engulfed January 2018. What is that? 6 years? 6 years of price action. That's powerful. That's impulsive. That is a change in character in this entire market. And so zooming in, let's zoom in on the daily here at what we're looking at. So again, I've been following this kind of triangle, expecting it to, because so often with XRP, we see triangles. And so I posted the triangle in the subs group saying I was expecting up here at 251, one more E down right at this level, because that's what this is looking like. I've got a 1, 2, this to me 3, A, B, C, D, E. E could be in here. E could be in here. Or the other option is that, this is forming D, and we have one more for E prior to a move up. And the third option is I'm wrong on all this, right? We have to always consider that. But for now, it's broken out. Potential here for E to be in and this 3-4 correction to be over. And another thing to note is, where did all of this occur? Whereas on the previous, that impulse I shared, it came back and checked back to the 618. This is stronger. We're checking back to the 786 with 1, 2, 3 rejections basically to get below it, right? Absorption, demand coming in at a key fib level, which you'd expect to see given the market is going to respect that fib level. And so far, the market is telling you it's respecting that fib level. And so at a minimum, the expectation here would be the 1618 off of the origin of this local impulse, okay, this 1, 2, the 1618 to get us to 875. And we're at 250 right now. That's asymmetry. That's asymmetry in a backup to last point of support, stage 2 uptrend into 3-4. All the things that I focus on in terms of symmetry, maximum symmetry, are met with this idea. And so from there, who knows? Let's see if we get there. When we get there, I'd expect maybe a similar type of consolidation to form some type of V wave. And then depending on what Bitcoin's doing, if as I did my members video this morning, what I'm expecting to happen with Bitcoin comes to fruition, then we can maybe look for a C wave, impulsive movement to higher targets. But for now, we're taking this one level at a time. XRP, BTC. This is also really, really important in telling us a story. I've got RSI down here. Let me move this out of the way. RSI in the bottom of my screen, and this is XRP denominated in Bitcoin. With this latest move, you'll notice something in terms of the character of the move and the length and duration of where it's consolidating compared to everything that happened since 2019. And we also see that manifested in RSI. So RSI can get up to 70, 72, 73 in corrective type moves. It doesn't get to 80. I very, very hard pressed to find situations on a weekly chart where you're going to get to 80 on a move that is then going to have more downside as opposed to upside in front of it. Where's the evidence of that with the XRP chart? Well, it's right in front of us. We tagged 80 here. Here's XRP BTC, and it then outperformed to the tune of 5x. Okay, prior to then moving into a more formal correction. Where's the next evidence of that? Back in 2017, breached that 80, had a correction like we're seeing now, consolidation here, consolidation occurred there, a bit more dramatic, but then after that was over, you had outperformance to the tune of 6x, okay? So where are we now? We're in a situation where you have a level here that was rejected. You have a level here that was rejected. You couldn't even get up to it here. You couldn't get up to it here. This is a level the market has respected and has not gained acceptance of prices above these levels for more than a week. So far, we've got a rejection and then kind of a reclaim, and we've been in this zone for about a month and a half, That's the character of that is much different than we saw. If you guys get what I'm doing here, right? Character of that's much different. Suspicion, the burden here, the suspicion has to be on the side of continuation, especially with that 80 being breached on the RSI, consolidation moving upwards through this. At a minimum, my expectation, if this area holds, would be 50% outperformance to Bitcoin just to get to this level with the potential of 170 to best case scenario 300%. So low end outperformance given this area holds 50%, high end 4x outperformance in the short term. This is not long term, folks. This is not long term. And so looking at the confluence on the XRP BTC chart as well, combined with we're seeing I got a 1-2 here. I could see easily a 3-4 being made here, right? Or a little bit higher, 3-4 here to a 5. Or this is the 3-4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and it's making a move to 5. Either way, this is just a symmetrical setup and explains a little bit more as to why I've been posting this and following this a lot more recently. Hope you have a great rest of the weekend. Take care. Thanks for the support as always.